So I started a new position as senior UX designer for a company called LuckyVitamin. We sell a variety of health and wellness products to people, supplements, some food items, protein items, things of that nature. We usually have a user base demographic around like 50 plus years older, and we're looking to get into a younger demographic, thinking about the 35, maybe 45-year range. With that being said, we wanted to just chat with individuals and around that demographic to see how they felt about general health and wellness and see if we could gear a product more tailored towards them. So that sound cool. That makes sense. That yada
Yeah,
yada, all this stuff.
yeah,
Sweet.
it makes sense to me.
Alrighty. So my first question is, how do you define health and wellness?
Ooh, how do I define health and wellness? Okay. Um, Taking a holistic approach to your well-being through mental, physical, emotional approaches, and being at a place where you're active in it, in promoting good health for yourself.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Alrighty. All right. This one is a three-part question. What stage are you at on your health and wellness journey? I'm at the beginning of my journey. I've not considered the role of health and wellness in my life, slash, I'm not on a health and wellness journey, and I'm uncertain where I'm at along my journey.
I'm certain where I'm at along in my journey.
Okay. Could you tell me more about that?
Um, Actually, I want to add to the first question too that
Absolutely.
I look at health and wellness as a lifestyle proact like being like your a lifestyle like lifestyle changes versus the typical societal type things where it's like, oh, we're just doing this diet. It's like, no, we need to look at it from a long-term marathon, not a sprint. And in terms of my health, I know what things I need to work on from a perspective of going through some a lot. I actually had some health things come up in the last few years, so I've been very active in trying to figure that out, and it's been a very zigzag, unfortunately, journey, but I'm at a place where I understand it fully now and what I need to do, and I'm taking those steps to work towards the goal.
Cool, cool, cool. Glad to hear it. Alrighty, so that's definitely dope. Taking steps towards going. Gotcha. So with that being said, you were uncertain about where you at along your journey. Could you tell me more about that?
I'm certain. Did you say uncertain or certain?
I said uncertain.
My
The
bad, I'm
option.
certain.
No, that's quite all right. That means I need to speak a bit more clearly. So let's re ask that question. It's perfect. What stage are you at in your health and wellness journey? I'm at the beginning of my health and wellness journey. I've not considered the role of health and wellness in my life. I'm not on a health and wellness journey. I'm uncertain where I'm at along my journey.
I guess beginning.
Okay.
The only reason I'm like beginning is because I'm already in it, but I guess let's say beginning.
Oh no, if the options don't fit your need, tell me. Are you like already started and
Already
into it?
started, yeah. I'm
Gotcha.
already started and taking measures, going through it. So yeah.
Gotcha. Tell me about that.
So I started my health journey actually like well, it's always been ongoing, but in this particular space, I began this back in 2020 or late 2019. And then I've gone through a series of, visiting doctors, things like that, um, taking proactive measures to figure out what works for me and my body and not going based on what is given to me by society, for example, or trainers. It's like trial and error too, as well. And then I've gotten to a space now where it's like I know what I need to do because of all the heavy work that I've done in the last 3 years.
Gotcha.
And of course, trying different, there are supplements involved, not too many, but there are some supplements that I have introduced.
Thanks for that. Question after that is, I don't feel like something's, boom, it is. Scroll up. There we go. Alrighty. That being said, how often do you make changes or seek solutions to improve your health? Never, sometimes, frequently, or always.
Oh, always. I'm always looking and reevaluating my current state, see what's working, what's not working, and what if there are any changes that I need to make and pivot on to move forward.
Got you. Cool, cool, cool. Um, so to piggyback on that, what are your health goals?
Health goals, get to a place where my body feels healthy. Currently in terms, there's a couple things. So I don't want to say weight because it's not about the number per se. It's more about how I feel. And I know how I feel at certain points in terms of weight in that case. So it's not just a number like, oh, let's go with the BMI scale because the BMI scale is actually trash. It's not based on science. That's not real. So working on not what external things are telling me or just external factors, but what I'm working on. So for me is getting to a place where I physically feel like I'm not out of breath. I feel optimal, like I can go dancing and not be in a position of like and just overall healthy, not dragging healthy energy, things like that. And then what else? What okay, what was the question again? Remind me.
What are your health goals?
Oh yeah, that um and then also longevity of life in terms of like quality life, not just like I don't want to just live long. I want to live a good long life.
Got
And also reduce any types of inflammation or anything that triggers certain health conditions that I have. Um, yeah.
Cool, cool, cool. All right. So with that being said, how do you normally learn about the subject of health and wellness?
I read a lot. I like to look into some peer-to-peer, well, the peer review scholarly articles, things like that. Obviously, I do go to a doctor and keep up to date with that, but I do a lot of self-reading because, you know, there's you have to be careful because if you don't have a decent doctor, you may be led astray. So I like to take the advice from the professionals who have studied it, but also look in terms of what's out there from other professionals who studied it very well. And I also try to go to the doctors who are very well versed in what I'm dealing with.
Got you. So there sounds like there's a slight schism or fracture between some traditional doctors and some other specialists, or maybe even general information around the health factors you're experiencing. Could you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah. I like to take a holistic approach, and in my experience, I've seen where certain doctors are very. I've in my experience, I've noticed that a lot of Western medicine likes to push medicine, like pills, 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 pills. You have a problem, let's treat the symptom. Let's not get down to the root cause of the issue. And that's not good for me because I don't want to just treat symptoms and pop pills and feel better because of that. I want to figure out what exactly is causing this because if we could address what's causing it, you wouldn't have those symptoms. So that's why I take a blended approach to my health versus just taking someone's word for it.
Got you.
And actually, taking this blended approach has helped me come off of a certain medicine that I did not want to be on anymore. So, and I was afraid of coming off of it, but I actually am doing pretty well. So it's working.
That's great. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see. Are there any trusted sources you go to learn about health and wellness, like specific sources?
Um, science. Yeah, that's like
I
science.
love, yeah, you know what? I can't be mad at
Yeah,
science.
science. I got to go. I like scientific articles, like with literally cited sources and research, not just
So,
somebody on social media who says they're a biologist or scientist or whatever and says, "Oh yeah, let's do this." No, I want to read the facts.
gotcha.
Let's read the studies that are out there.
No problem. Where do you go to find this peer-reviewed slash cited sources?
So there's a couple places. So obviously I start with Google, but then I go through, there's like library resources, like I think, what was it called? LexisNexis. That's the one I go to. And a lot of the time there's also Google Scholar, I believe it's called, and that pops up some studies. And then sometimes I do go ahead and look at a lot of, if for example, some supplement brands that I've used, they have those scholarly their studies, but also cited sources of where they have their claims. And I'll search for that specific article and read about it. So like if someone says, oh, this type probiotic helps with your skin, whatever, and they
Mhm.
link studies, I will go to that specific study and read about it.
Gotcha.
And then I'll
Is that-
also do more research about that specific strain and probiotic. That's just an example.
Gotcha. Gotcha. You said you use Google, LexisNexis, and Google Scholar. Would you be able to tell me what some of those searches might look like? Like what exactly you're typing in terms of phrases, keywords, things of
Um,
that nature?
keywords, so it depends. So if I'm looking for something on inflammation, I would type in supplements or support ways to combat inflammation or studies on inflammation. And then from there, it kind of like goes down a rabbit hole and it just like the variations change over time, on and off, on and off. So, or on and on. So as a thought, I'm trying to think of like, I mean, that's one example. I mean, one of the things that I was wondering or dealing with was I wanted my digestive system to get better and also like going regularly, for example. So one of the things I looked into was gut health, and I started there. And then there were some suggestions of what to help gut health. One of the things was probiotics or moving or this, and this. And I went down the path of probiotics. And then there's specific strains that help with going regularly in your metabolism. And then I went down each of those paths for those different strains and reading about them. Then from there, it's like, okay, I read how they work. Then I say, okay, supplements with this type of strain. If I can't find it, I'll look at the like top supplemental like probiotic brands, which this is what I did recently. And they'll say, oh, if you need help with this, these are the types. Oh, and did my research. Then I look for the top brands, and then I look at their ingredients and I say, okay, which strains are in their ingredients list, and which of these brands has good ratings, a lot of research to back it up, meets the criteria of the different strains I'm looking for.
Gotcha. That's great. Alrighty. So got like maybe two or three more questions to go. Do you make purchases based on the state of your health and wellness or your health and wellness journey?
Do I make per? Oh,
Like,
where? Say that
do you
again.
make purchases based on your health and wellness journey or the state of it, where you're at on it?
Oh, so like where I'm at a time versus the overall.
Yeah.
It depends. Like for the most part, overall, but like if something else arises during the journey and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna make an example. I'm lacking in magnesium. then I can reevaluate what I'm doing today. Like where can I get that through food? If it's not enough through food, do the supplements that I have have magnesium? Oh, they don't. Okay, well, where can I find magnesium that's good for me? That's just an example.
Gotcha. Cool, cool, cool. And second to last question, do you purchase products to improve your overall health and wellness?
Yes.
Gotcha. Cool, cool, cool. And you've been describing that throughout, so I don't need you to elaborate.
Yeah.
All right. Now, with all that being said, here's the thing. We're trying to create a new approach to helping people understand not only how they consume food, generally how they should shift focus, do things for more mindfulness in terms of mental health, but also the possibility of like what kind of supplements would be beneficial depending on what you're looking to improve on your health and wellness journey. Does that sound like something that might be of interest to you or be of value?
Hmm.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Alrighty. And final thing is, we have been working with individuals who specifically are subject matter experts in this. They work for the company. They have backgrounds in like nutrition, some of them dietitians, things of that nature. We've been terming them wellness consultants. When you hear the phrase wellness consultant, how does that make you feel?
I like that.
You like
I
it?
don't, yeah, I don't like the idea of registered dietitian because there's a thought I have about this whole diet thing, and the way that America pushes diets is not culturally, is not, mm, it's very old school. And that's what pops up in my head. So wellness consultant, it sounds better to me because it's like the person is going to take time to listen to what the person, like the individual, is looking for in their life, and what value that wellness individual, that wellness consultant, can bring to them.
Gotcha. Cool, cool, cool. Alrighty. So with that being said, that actually concludes this qualitative interview. We are working on a A/B test specific to a two different versions we want to get out of the site. Would you be able to take some time, maybe later on, if I schedule more time, and just walk through the site with me? Let me know your thoughts, anything you like, anything you might dislike, and any changes you might want to see.
Yeah, sure.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, thank you for taking the time. I will chat with you soon. I'm going to stop recording